Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to thank you for your time this evening. Today is a very special day. It's a day that we remember, the day that we commemorate what God has done for us. Today, each of us can mark the calendar and say that today is a day of new beginnings. For some, today will mark the end of their college years, but the beginning of a career, the beginning of their destiny, the beginning of the day that they stepped into the calling that God has on their lives. For others, today will represent a break. It'll represent a time of refreshing during the summer. For others, still yet, it'll represent a new beginning, the new beginning of a new semester, the new beginning of the future, of a hope that God has placed within them. Today will be something that we reflect on for years to come. It may be reflecting upon the exams that we first took our first semester, when we stayed up late cramming, or it may be the first time that we posted a video on YouTube. For others, they'll think about sitting around with their friends and reflecting upon the good times that their friends had together, discussing our classwork, discussing the stresses of life, a job, a family, the juggling act that college classes can represent for many of us. Today is a very special day. Today is the day that we will all be able to look back on in the future. Today is the day that we can look forward to the plan that God has for our lives. Jeremiah 29 and verse 11 says, "For I know the thoughts that I think toward you, says the Lord, thoughts of good and not of evil, thoughts to bring you to an expected end." Today can mark that day that we each step toward our destiny, toward our future that God has prepared for us. Today can be a milestone for each of us. Today is a day that each of us will reflect upon for years to come, because it marks the end of an era and the beginning of a new one that God has placed in our lives. As a woman who is pregnant with a child looks forward to the end, but she doesn't wish her days away, so too are we as college students, as we, the students of Willie University. We have a dream, a hope, and an expected end that we're pregnant with, but we don't wish our days away. As the mom who holds her child, we too shall enjoy the dream that God has given us one day. We too shall be able to hold the gift of God that He's placed within us, in our hands, in our lives. It'll be tangible. It'll be evident. We will be able to see what God has done. Today we will be able to reflect upon in years to come. I thank you for your time. Good evening, and I pray that God blesses you.